Good people, how are you doing? My name is Justin, and I want to welcome you guys on the Young Entrepreneurs Network. This is a beautiful evening, and we have a wonderful and talented VIP inside of our studios tonight. What is VIP? Very impactful people who are making a difference within our community, and tonight is a night like none other. And if you would, please tag a friend in this video, chat with us in the comments, do whatever you need to do to get involved in tonight's discussion. The West Side, I need you guys to stand up because this is all about you. We're going to take a quick commercial break to allow you guys to do what you need to do, and we'll be right back.
When I think of a city like Birmingham, I'm always drawn to its rich history. A history of overcoming the civil rights era and showing resilience to rebuild the culture of what we know today. 60 years doesn't seem too long ago, and the evidence of change can still be seen today. And hey, let's say you want to see what's new in Birmingham, or maybe what's new in your own city. See, you'll have to download the Black Business Traffic app for that. The Black Business Traffic app is an easy-to-use digital resource to help you track your way to the nearest black business. If your goal is to shop local and find black-owned establishments, this is the app for you. Visit your local app store, download, and sign up now so that you can start shopping locally today.
Good people, thank you so much for watching that brief commercial from the Black Business Traffic app. If you don't have it downloaded yet, please download it so that you can track your favorite businesses. But without further ado, I want to take time to introduce a pastor. I want to take time to introduce a coach. I want to take time to introduce a teacher, a professor, someone that is very knowledgeable, someone that is very familiar with the west side of town. He is running for Bham City Council District 8C. Let's give it up for Jonathan Hatten. Please. Everybody in the studio. Yeah, we got hey, we got a crowd in here tonight.
I see.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, brother. How you?
Doing good. First of all, I want to commend you on a beautiful campaign. I know that this is your first time running. It has been beautiful. It has been clean. It has been professional. It has been an example of, I believe, what you already are. And I want to take time not to, go through all of the questions, which I feel like you have already answered. But tonight will be a review.
Okay.
So let's have a review.
I like that. That's cool.
Let's do that. I want to know what, in the neighborhoods of, Ensley and, Bellevue and, over on the west side in District 8, what are some of the responses from the community that you hear? What are some of the changes that we need to make in District 8?
A lot of challenges. The very first thing that I hear as I'm canvassing and cleaning is the people wanted to get clean. The blight is something serious. Illegal dumping, people parking in the yards, overgrown lots, abandoned structures, burned buildings just left, falling down. The second thing, because believe it or not, they don't talk about crime as much as they talk about the community being clean. But crime is the second thing. To be honest, man, it really shocked me that a lot of people don't even open their door.
No, this is true.
They looking at you through the Ring camera, and to me, it's not direct, but it's the best that we can do because people just don't feel comfortable sitting outside on the porch anymore. Or they'll open the door and it's like halfway and it's like, hey, just leave it. I'll read it. And so that's been one of the challenges, really trying to overcome the safety aspect. The third aspect is just really basic services. The trash went from 2 times a week to 1 time a week.
Right.
And even with the 1 time a week, it don't get picked up sometimes. And so, it has caused a lot of my neighbors, especially in the Highlands, to be a little bit concerned about that. We have another problem, which is we have a very high homeless population. We have a lot of squatters.
Right.
A lot of addiction is in this area. We have a fentanyl problem. We have an ICE problem. And then there are several transitional homes throughout District 8.
That's true.
And what that causes is there's a missing gap with the mental health piece. They don't have a place to transition to. So wherever they got clean from and they came to the transitional house, they stay there. They go through that process. And if they don't find work in housing, they're going to stay where they are because they're comfortable with that community. Now they're going to hit the streets. They're going to hit the block. They're begging and bombing for change. We have a severe mental health problem with mental illness. It's a lot of people that are staying in illegal boarding homes.
Right.
Those boarding homes are taxing these individuals. They make about $800 a month. They're charging $650. What are you going to do with $150 in a month? Especially in this economy, right?
Right.
You're going to be begging and bombing for change. So those are some of the issues. Affordable housing is another issue. The rent, believe it or not, in Inslee Highlands, $1,500 easy. 3 bedrooms. Bellevue, $1,800 easy. And so those are some of the concerns that people have that has led me to really strategize a plan centered around those conversations. And I think my plan is a good plan. It's something that I can do really without hand and feet, really without depending on a lot of input or services from the mayor or from the council. These are things we can do ourselves. And so my stuff is not fancy. It's not flowery, but it's an honest assessment because as I teach this stuff, I don't want to duplicate what I teach. I don't want to tell them lies. I'm tired of being lied to myself. So I see the flash cards, the push cards, and the note cards. They even come to my house, and I'm sitting myself like, you're not going to be able to do all this. So why promise it? So people are let down. The other big one is they're tired of being lied to. So it's a lot of empty promises, a lot of layaway plans on progress. 2018-19, Inslee Burns is sold with promise to housing community and a grocery store. It's 2025, no development. As a matter of fact, that grass is about here right now. The other community, well, you have which is not District 8, but it's District 9. They're so close together like cousins. That whole 19th Street corridor dealing with the McCormick building, all that, another layaway plan on progress. Then you got the Family Fun Center, which is at the Crossplex Village. And promised the Family Fun Center. That fun center was promised a month before the amphitheater came into existence in the conversation. But the amphitheater is finished.
Quickly.
There's no development on the Family Fun Center and probably won't be none until about 2027.
So when you hear the phrase that the West Side has been neglected,
yes,
you can agree with that.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. And one of the things you notice, because I Uber and Lyft part-time. So I'm over the whole city. I'm in all cities, really.
So you pastor, you're a teacher, and you Uber.
Part-time. Yeah.
And you've been canvassing, so you're able to call these streets out.
I
drive these streets.
I drive these streets. And when I tell you, when people talk about the bumpy roads, it is a real thing on the West Side.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it's really strange. I work on the South Side. When I drive, it's a smooth drive all the way till I get to maybe right there by Arkadelphia. And you can see it's almost like the sky changes. Right. It's depressing. The moment you pass through that little part coming from downtown and get to close to Arkadelphia and you start looking left and right, man, it's really it's depleted. It's depressing. The air is just like, wow. So you can see it even with the freeway. You come down back towards downtown, it's clean. But when you start going to the West Side, it's just unkept. When you start going to the North Side, going up 65 North, it's unkept. Now, North Birmingham or Norwood is good. They're keeping that because that's a development. There's a lot of money going there. But when you come to the West Side, man, it's sad.
Man.
That's the word I use. It's sad.
What are some of the promises that you have given, to these residents to help change the attitude and the aura around here? Because if it's sad, and you're running for this position, I want to know, what are some of those ways that you'll help implement, a smile and a change around here?
Well, for me, one thing, Jay, I did different. I didn't make the promises.
Mhm.
I just told people straight up, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only promise that I've made to the constituents and DA is I'm gonna love you, I'm gonna listen to you, and I'm gonna lead you. I'm gonna promise you that my office will be just like me. And that is, we will be responsive and receptive to the needs of the people. You're gonna call us, you're gonna get a call back. You deserve that. Even if we can't solve the issue per se, we can point you in the right direction. Right. But at least you get a call back, at least, or we'll respond to that email. We'll listen to you with empathy. I think that's a big problem for a lot of the people. Like they're calling, they're being talked to any kind of way by city service, or they just won't get called back. And so, as a taxpayer, you pay taxes. I'm paying your salary, but you're talking to me a kind of way. So, it creates a lackluster feeling. And I didn't want to do what I have taught everybody not to do. Don't make promises you can't keep.
Right.
So when I tell people, I'm under the philosophy, and it's my philosophy, that the government is not coming to save us. It's time for us to save ourselves. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's get it done. And I got a plan for that. We're going to do quarterly cleanups. 12 neighborhoods. We're going to do quarterly cleanups. We're going to incentivize those cleanups. We're going to pull in the labor from the various organizations. Even high school students got to do community service hours now to graduate. So the labor's there. We just got to get the funding. And I have a plan for that. So knowing that we can't just use government funds for said things always, I want to create a District 8 nonprofit. I can't do it myself, but I can help get it off the ground. Now we can pour into our own, similar to that with, other models across the city, other models across the state. Mobile has done it. Woodlawn has done it. The government didn't go save Woodlawn. Woodlawn rolled up their sleeves and got it done.
They sure did.
Places like Baltimore and Philly were the birthplace of redlining. So I've studied various models to try to see how we can duplicate that. And we have entities here like Blight Busters and others that are ready to roll up their sleeves and do the work. But we just gotta do it with a sense of urgency. So one of the things that I attached to my campaign was that I did community cleanup as I was going. And so what was happening was, for me, it's really strange. It became contagious. So as I'm cleaning up like Bush Hills, I got 2 or 3 people who just coming out. Hey, we're going to pull in. I'm cleaning up Fairview Park. 4 or 5 gentlemen just come out. Now we cleaned the park up, and it became contagious. Now when I pass by these places,
right,
it's not as bad as it was. There's a street, Avenue S, coming from Warrior to Inslee, 5 Points West Avenue. I cleaned that road several times. And what happened is some ladies from the block saw me. They came out and helped me. Now that's a part of her morning walk. So these are some of the things that can become contagious. It's a good contagion. It means that somebody cares about what's going on. And so I'm not in it for the fanfare. I'm not in it for the fame. I'm not in it. I'm just in this race because I care about where I live. I'm not moving, and I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get it done.
Where did you go to high school?
Inslee High School, baby.
Inslee High,
class of 96.
Y'all
Jackets.
Both. Okay.
E-Dog.
I asked that question because, you have been around Inslee for a long time.
Wow. Yeah.
What do you see now compared to what you saw back then? And I want you to talk about that pride that you have that's still there as an adult.
So because my father was on Avenue C, and my family was around those parts. So I've been literally on that particular side in Inslee, literally since I was like 4 or 5, 7, walking the miles for the summer camps, walking to my brother's house, Johnny May Jordan, and kicking it with them. I stayed on Court I right there on the corner till I was about 4. So, I remember the fairgrounds. My first roller coaster ride was in Inslee, right there at the fairgrounds. I remember the Parisians upstairs and downstairs. I remember the Zaire. I remember going to eat at Bonanza's, which is not Inslee, but it's all coming down 3rd Avenue, 5 Points, Bessemer Road. I remember the drive-in movie theater. I remember going to the venue with the racetrack. I remember the stores, the Woolworth, and I remember so much that was there. I remember going downtown Ensley and shopping. I remember the apothecary that I used to have to take my grandmother to when I was in high school. And so literally the resources have been drained so much that it's like on life support. And so when I see it, it's like, it just needs, it needs CPR. It needs to be resuscitated.
You just named a lot of things that were here and they're now gone. What is the stigma with the West Side as far as it being a negative place or a bad place, or just the fact that all of our roads might be, but why do we have that negative stigma, placed on the West Side and specifically in District 8? When we've had the resources here and it's shown potential that this is a place where business can grow and where pride can be displayed.
It's several things, really. White flight happened, the resources left, and we didn't take care of business. That's one part. And I think it's time for us to really just stop sugarcoating it. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. And so it started to shift from ownership to rentalship. We have a lot of rentals, and not knocking rentals at all, because I rent it. But there's a different mentality that comes when you own it versus when you rent it.
Right.
And so when you start getting certain programs into your community, a lot of times they don't have the same level of love for the community because they may not be there next year. And so it's hard to get them engaged into the community and in a real way, because at the end of the day, I may not be here two more years. So the level of love for the community changed. Even when I moved in 08, it was still a level of love. It was a very clean place. We moved from Pleasant Grove to Ensley, and it was clean. We wouldn't have bought the house if it was like
and
this.
I was just going to ask, like, what? Some people stay away. We see some people chatting from far away. But you stay. That's very important. I think that's very important for people to know the character, as far as their leader. You have a lot of pride in where you live. Yeah, and I took a lot of heat for it, especially with a lot of my close friends who have moved out. My thing is this: is that everybody moves, then you got brain drain, you got an educational drain, and you got a financial drain. Somebody got to stay and step up. And for me, I wanted to move a few years ago, actually, and my broker, my mortgage guy, was like, "No, I'm not gonna let you do it yet. You can rent, but man, it's about to boom." And he's like, "Just wait, just give me 3 years." And so in 3 years, I started checking that little yellow card, and he wasn't lying. Even my neighbor, he had a for sale sign by owner. He took his down. He bought the house next door. So I've seen this influx of Hispanics come in, but I've also seen an influx of us investing into the property. And we know what's happening. We got to invest in the West Side.
We got to invest. And so I think now everybody's looking at the government to do that. But for me, I stayed in areas and I pastored in areas that didn't have a mayor, didn't have a city council. I stayed in unrestricted Forestdale, and I know how that can go. I pastored in unrestricted McCullough. I know how that could go. Those neighbors in those neighborhoods, they were about the neighborhood. So they kept it clean and they held each other accountable. So if someone is in the community that is dumping and things of that nature, we're going to go to you and say, hey, you bringing down our property value. Because at the end of the day, we don't understand the economics of it.
Right. And
so what I want to do is what I've been doing for 15 years. I want to start educating the people. And I literally mean educating the people, because a lot of people just don't know basic civics. And really America and the world is all about civic and economics. If you can understand those two, you can impact your community, you can impact the world. So we don't understand investments. We don't understand how the economy and the economics of your area can go up with a little bit of sprucing. And so for me, to go back to your question, for me, when you look at the West Side, or just not even the West Side, you look at certain parts of North Birmingham. When you look at those areas, you're going to find one common denominator. the root cause of it is poverty. The poverty level is super high, and where you have poverty, you're going to have crime. Where you have poverty, you're going to have ragged and rugged neighborhoods. And so teaching the people that just because you don't make a certain income doesn't mean you have to subscribe to that label.
Right. We
can rise above the label of, you know, don't go to Inslee. You know, it hurts me that people that are in my family will be like, hey, cuz, meet me. I ain't coming that way. And so it's always pumped, it's always media, it's always political sides. But really, I got some really loving neighbors. My street is very, very calm. Until last year, nothing. Right. So it's pockets of crime. It's pockets of people that are progressive. And then you have pockets of people that are just hood. And when I say hood, not in a bad way, just hood mentality. Like you don't care. You don't care what come out your mouth. You don't come what you throw out. You don't care how you got the radio blasting it. You know, just hood.
Yeah.
We just got to change the culture. And it starts one person at a time.
I wanted to ask you that. Did you have a plan in set where it could alleviate some of the problems that we are discussing right now, which is crime and poverty? One of those things you said that your neighbor, he invested in his property next door to him. Do you have some type of plan where it will encourage other neighbors to invest back into their community where we can start fixing some of these poverty problems and also crime and cleaning up as well?
I do, but my thing now is to really clean this place up.
Gotcha.
That is the very first priority I have.
I'm with you.
To get rid of the blight, get rid of the overgrown lots, make it attractive, right? Then we can start to recruit businesses. Once we can recruit businesses, then we can also retain the businesses that we have.
Right.
People just don't want to come over there because of the way it looks, right? But they'll come to the crossplex. They have no problem. And that's the road that was fixed, right? Like we kind of fixed up the living room, but if you just turn right off any street off Inslee 5 Points Avenue, and you're going to be like, what is this? You know? So to answer your question, I think we got to kind of do what mayors have doing is that's clean up downtown, clean up our major points of business. We need to clean up 5 Points West, really clean that up. We need to clean up around 5 Points West in a radius. And then we'll start attacking the neighborhoods. Once it starts to look better, now watch this, people will start to feel better. And that feel better won't be just an emotion. It'll be a feel better because we actually participated in helping to get this baby clean. And then we can hold workshops, we can use media, we can use town halls, we can use all the avenues that we can, newsletter, whatever that looks like, and bring some experts in, bring people with expertise, and just teach the material, right? Maybe just do it in chunks and chew it so people can chew off of it, and just show them, even with the neighborhood associations, bringing in some kind of connector to where people can get the information. I believe when people are informed, they become happy.
Right.
And so the only way you can change mentality is through education. And I'm not saying pens and pencils. I'm saying through giving them the information that will make them better. And I believe truly that when people get the information and they feel like it's solid, then they can start to buy it. Then I can start saving. But to your point, I think we do need to utilize the Land Bank Authority to this fullest.
Speak on it.
Right now, from what I'm hearing and understanding, there's a backlog. There's several properties. People are trying to buy the properties and having some challenges with that.
We're trying to get those
so
properties.
We need to kind of free that up a little bit. So those of us who do want to invest is able to invest and to sure up, because once I own the property, I can take care of it. But even with that being said, forming networks and pods of people. So you may not be able to do it by yourself, but there may be 10 of your folks that can.
Right.
Now we go into that thing, we buy it up one house at a time. One house. Now this block is good. One house. Now this street is good.
Right.
Now the whole street has been revamped. And so I'm coming into this knowing it's going to take several terms. So what I present is in 4 years, when you look at what I told you I was going to do, will you be willing to vote for me again in 4 years? And that's how I just don't want to make empty promises about safer communities and all that. But a lot of that is not even in my in my scope. A lot of that comes from the mayor's office. I can't enforce crime. I can only advocate for the things that happen. I can legislate as a counselor, but when it comes to enforcement, that's the executive branch.
Right.
And so understanding, because I understand government, I didn't want to come out and say, I'm going to do 15,000 things and I can't do any of them. So why not have 4 or 5 things that I can do realistically? And then at 4 years, you say, okay, he did what he said he was going to do. It's clean. He invested in mental health. He got with all the 12 neighborhoods. He formed a leadership council. He has a district 8 agenda. Now he's ready to fight. And so the first year will just be organization. The second year, we're going to start to fight.
I like that. I like that. Do you have enough resources and people within the community?
Oh, we got to fix that. Hold on.
Oh, no. Fix it for me. Yeah, fix it for me. Fix it for me.
Can't be cricket, baby.
Damn, I'm sorry. Do you have enough resources, boots on the ground in the community to where, and I'm asking, because you've grown up in this community. So I'm just trying to display to the people that you might have enough contacts out there to be able to help your vision go forth in District 8.
Well, for me, I look at this as a vision of us all. I'm not trying to go into it by myself. I have mental health partners. I work there. I'm the only candidate with that experience. I'm the only candidate that understands the nuances of mental health, how addiction leads to psychosis, how you can't treat psychosis until you treat the addiction. I have enough mental health partners that we can do the work. I have enough church brethren that we can do the work. And so I'm unique in this position that I can touch a little bit of each area. I can touch the faith community. I can touch the mental health community, and I can bring those people together. We can bring in the business community. And I'm like this, if you don't know something, you hire the best in the area. So to hire a staff that really knows that's all about good leadership. And so I know that it's going to take a collective effort.
Right.
And it's not something I want to do or try to do by myself, which is one thing that Nehemiah kind of shows me. You can't do it by yourself. But when you got a solid plan, you present your plan with fervor, resources will come. And so I'm really believing that we can strengthen local businesses by meeting their needs. But we don't know what those needs are until we get everybody at the table, do a needs assessment.
Yeah.
And once we gather that data, we let the data drive our decisions. We won't be fighting. I don't want to go to City Hall and fight because Jonathan said so. I don't want to go to City Hall and vote. No, I'm going to come back to the district. Hey, this is on the table. How do you all see it? We're not going to always agree, because sometimes I'm going to have to, because as a counselor, you not only rep your district, but you rep the entire city.
Right.
So there will be times where it won't always be unity, but I will strive to fight for the voices of the people that hire me.
Makes sense. I got one more question for you before I open up the floor. We haven't talked about our youth much, and I just know that there is I think the correct word would be despair, or it's very scarce around here as far as the opportunities and places for our youth to go after school, for after school care, or in the summer for summer programs. Would that be something that you focus on to make sure that our youth is headed in the right direction?
Absolutely. I teach, so I understand the youth, period, point blank. As a matter of fact, I started a mentor group at Midfield High School. I had about 32 guys. All 32 of them are successful.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. I was in a mentor group. I was in Club Esquire. All of us are successful. So I understand the value of mentorships. That is something that needs to happen. I want to bring our Manhood Mondays that we do at Ramsey. I want to start implementing that in all of the schools. Mm-hmm. Right? It's just a time for us to talk. It's time for us to train. It's a time for us to guide. It's a time for us to be role models. Nothing but men. And it's so powerful because at the end of each year, they get scholarships. Mm. Another thing I want to do, which I think is a real big plan with the Birmingham Promise, is I've seen how those internships transform even at risk. It's like the light bulb shows up. And so I would be willing to advocate and to fight for more money being put into the internship component of the promise. Mm-hmm. Start that earlier, even if it's not paid internships for those incoming freshmen.
Right.
But it gets them exposure, it gets them experience, and once they get a taste of a new environment, you talked about that earlier. Right. Once they see a new environment, the light bulb can change.
Right.
And so that's the way we combat crime. That's the way we combat the poverty, is you change the mindset. Mm. If you teach me to fish, I can always eat.
Right.
But if they take me fishing and you do it for me,
yeah,
I'm eating off your table.
Yeah.
So we want to help young men prepare tables. Another thing, the wrecks got to get fixed.
They do. They got to get fixed. That's look, now you got me letting people know where I stay. They got to be open. You know, Jesus. It's part of mental health. And that's one thing that I do explain to them as well. You never know what people are dealing with.
Right.
So they really depend on these facilities to
Absolutely
be open and available.
You know, with the Rex being, I'm going to say, in need of a lot of love.
Yeah.
They need to be open for basketball. That's recreation. They need to be open for gaming. The kids love games. We can even put recording materials in there since they like to rap. You need to give them some opportunities. You need to give them some outlets. A lot of these children, they don't even go outside. Mm-hmm. And if they do go outside, there's no parental guidance around. There's no place where they can be monitored. And so an idle mind becomes a devil workshop. We need to get all of our parks and recs, especially in our district, up and running.
Right.
The pools up and running. We need to spruce up. And while you're talking about it, I think Inslee Rec needs to not only be for the youth, but we have a very aging population.
Right.
We have a lot of seniors, and we can easily start a senior daycare right there at Inslee Rec. That gives some respite for the caregivers. You can do billing through the insurance. If a program comes in with a nonprofit, but we need to give outlet to those who really need the services. And right now, our children should be our biggest focus.
Look, our children definitely got to be. I was laughing at one of our comments. They say all we have is tire shops on the west side of Birmingham.
I mean, but that's true. Right down 3rd Avenue. I mean,
it's funny. I'm sorry. That was funny. That was funny.
It's a plethora of tire shops, right?
Yeah.
How many do you need? I mean, if you just look at it, like
more tire shops than churches.
I mean, it's a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
And you got alcohol stores, you got convenience stores. We don't own none of them. We don't own none of them.
Man.
And that's something we got to fix.
Right.
And even as we're talking about it, we have empty places and spaces where we can do the food trucks.
Right.
We can do that. Right there by Legion Field, I'm thinking about an empty lot right now. The food trucks need to set up.
Yeah.
You right off the business. You got the community. Again, we just need to pour back into our own. We need to keep the businesses we have so we can start circulating dollars. Our dollars are not circulating like they need to. So of course, if you're looking at it from number standpoint, wherever your money's come, you're gonna make sure that they're good. And so that, it's just a reality. But at the same time, you can't neglect basic services.
Right.
And that's what's happening for us.
Can the people depend on you?
Absolutely. I mean, anybody knows me knows I'm solid. I've been solid. I'm a real solid dude. I'm an honest guy. I'm a servant leader. I'm a thinker. Just an overall good guy. You know what I'm saying? And I think my character, it speaks volumes to anybody who knows me, knows that I really pretty much been the same. For my students, who I've ever taught, I challenge you, but at the same time, I care about you. And so I won't change who I am. This election does not change nothing about me. It's really the reason I'm running. I'm not running because I want to. I feel like I need to. And there's a difference. So I've already won. Win, lose, or draw tomorrow, I've won. And so what the people will get is a winner. Someone who knows how to bring people together, somebody who knows how to look past the problems we have for solutions. I'm solution focused. someone who can think through things. Somebody is not going to be a rubber stamp. I'm not a do boy. I'm not a yes man. I speak my mind, but I speak it in a respectful way. So I'm not going to go along just to get along. If it's wrong, I'm going to say it's wrong.
Right.
And I think the voters need to know that when you vote for me on tomorrow, you're voting for a solid choice. You're voting somebody that's not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to be straight up with you. And I'm going to tell you, hey, this is what's on the table. I'm going to be transparent all the way through and through. Any questions out there, man?
Ooh, listen, I don't think we had any questions tonight. Let me just make sure. Now I got some people say they're tuning in from Colorado. Wish I could vote for you. Wish I could vote for you. That's one of your former mentees, Jeremy Bowling.
Oh yeah.
Somebody says that that they appreciate you for talking, with the people within the community about District 8 and your canvassing. And once again, I want to tell you that clean campaign, very professional. It's just been a breath of fresh air, in the midst of the other political kind of campaigns and lanes that we've seen. And it's not to be negative or shady, but it's more to uplift and show people who you are.
Yeah,
clean, professional, focused on on what you have, and I love it. Look at the people and tell them whatever you got to say.
Hey,
tell them.
Well, District 8, we have 9 great candidates. To be honest,
9 candidates.
There are 9 candidates, and from top to bottom, I think this is probably the most solid race
Definitely
in the election cycle.
Definitely.
You can put any of us in any election, it will be some heat.
Yeah.
I also think that when we start thinking about who's the better candidate, right? You start looking at what people have done, and we have several people that have held office, right? And I keep reminding the voters that the school board was the first takeover. That happened in 2012. We had a reduction in force like crazy. There was a lot of bickering on the board we fired several superintendents. So we paid out a lot of money. And then I tell people, well, look at the school's progress, right? I'm on record. Birmingham, let's talk. We saw that there was a candidate or someone that could take our schools to the next level. And we advocated for the superintendent we have before anybody got on the train. Sullivan has been a breath of fresh air for the Birmingham City schools. The schools are progressing, attendance is increasing. The data is showing that we're progressing in math and in reading and English. And so our schools are heading in the right direction. If our schools head in the right direction, guess what's going to happen? People will start moving back to the city, because most people that left, they left because our educational system was not was not being the light that it needed to be. Another thing is that separates me is, again, I'm the only candidate that has the experience to meet the needs and the challenges of District 8, and that's mental health. I understand mental health, and no one, not even in the mayor's race, none of the candidates have that experience. And so when you talk about separators, that's a qualifier. I feel that gives me a little bit of a nod, because I have the experience to not pay providers that don't do a good job, but also know the ones that do a great job, an excellent job, and get results.
Right.
I'm also, that guy. I've coached, I've led before. I've been a leader just about all my life.
Right.
And so even going back to high school, I played quarterback. So I know what it is to follow, and I know what it is to lead. And I'm just like District 8. Look, you're talking to somebody that used to walk to work. You're talking to somebody who had the bomb rise. You're talking to somebody who had to get it out the mud. You're talking to somebody that not only worked while he was in high school, but he played football. And I had the highest GPA on the team. You're talking to somebody that worked through college. I didn't have that affordability. You're talking to somebody that don't mind getting it done. So at the end of the day, who I am, I'm a person that will not stop until the job is done, no matter the obstacles, no matter the challenges. And my faith is big. I believe that District 8 can be one of the best districts in the city of Birmingham. I truly believe that. It used to be one of the most prominent areas inside of the city. William Bell called Ensley the heart of the West Side. And there was a real focus there. I want to bring that focus and that tension back to not just Ensley, but I want to bring Central Park along. I remember shooting at the rec, playing basketball games all day. I remember lifting weights at that rec, cleaning up our parks, getting the youth sports, which I hear there's a plan for that, but getting the youth sports back, and then helping these single moms in any way possible. That's who I am. So you're going to get a servant. You're going to get a guy that just love people, man. And so on tomorrow, you got a decision to make. You can go back in history. You can pick people because they got name recognition. You can pick people that have political ties and family legacy. You can do all of that. Or you can look at the last 4 years. You can really look at the last 8 years and say, is District 8 better now than it was a little while ago? If that is a question that you have, if you're tired of riding down bumpy roads, if you're tired of looking at grass to your kneecaps and to your waist, try something new. Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. It's no different with your candidate. Hire somebody that will fight for you. Hire somebody that will love you. Hire somebody that will listen to you. But most importantly, hire somebody that will lead you with integrity. And on tomorrow, if you trust me with that vote, I promise you, D8, I will not let you down. I will fight and advocate with every ounce of my being to make sure that we create the community we want to see.
Ooh, I'm ready to sound like one of them pregame speeches right there, man.
Let's go, baby.
No, man, listen, guys, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this interview as much as I have. And one thing that I wanted to make sure that you guys understood is who we have sitting here, behind this microphone. He is polished. He is knowledged. He has gone through the fire. He is somebody that has proven himself, not only just to, his staff at school, but to his theoretical staff or theological staff, different churches, different organizations. He's a great family man, a husband, father. He does a magnificent job at what he does. And I just want to commend you once again on a clean race. It's been clean. It's been beautiful. From looking at it from a first time, beautiful.
I won't take all the credit.
You have to put it. Part of being a good leader is having a good team.
I have a strategist.
Please do.
I hired 1221.
Okay.
What I saw was the need for PR, the need for communications, someone with the experience, the know-how to help me. I can speak, but I don't have all of the avenues to speak to change behaviors. And so 1221 has been an absolute godsend. We've been friends since Taco Bell days. She does an amazing job.
You used to be a manager at Taco Bell.
Yeah, man. I used to be a manager at Taco Bell. I've managed budgets. The store in Forestdale was my store. I had the highest sales. At one point, we had the fastest speed of service. I've been a leader in just about any capacity. So leadership is not new. I believe God makes leaders. I believe anybody can be in leadership. That's my philosophy. And so I wanted to play receiver. The coach said, no, you finna play quarterback. So, but back to Natasha. She has been an absolute godsend in so many ways. And that I have to credit this campaign as far as the presentation,
right?
As far as, going inside of the forms, being rehearsed, going through the speeches and getting my message sharp,
right.
and clear. She has truly pushed me to a limit that I didn't even know I can go.
Right.
And so I'm thankful to God for our relationship that goes back 30 years. But I'm also thankful that this was her first time doing a campaign. So this was kind of like a first time for her, first time for me. And we just like, hey, let's see where it goes. And so it's been beautiful. I actually got an endorsement for the first time. The Jefferson County chapter of Alabama New South. And to be on that ticket with Randall and all of the incumbents, just about every incumbent was on that. And, somebody heard the message.
Right.
And so I'm telling you, District 8, cycling is for trash, not for leadership. Choose wisely.
Ooh. Listen here, good people. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this interview. Once again, this is Jonathan Hatten, great father, teacher, coach. He is a pastor. He drives Uber, but he is also a leader within our community that is running for the Bham City Council District 8 seat. And it's going to take your vote, guys, tomorrow to place him in the seat so that we can start making the changes that we need to see over there on the west side. And without any further ado, I just want to say thank you.
Thank you for
the
the opportunity.
Encourage you. It's no problem at all. Shake your hand once again. We want to tell you to trust the process.
Always.
And we wish you the best on tomorrow's results. And guys, if nothing else, please share this video. If you've enjoyed it, tag a friend, do whatever you need to do to get involved. This is Jonathan Hatten on the Young Entrepreneurs Network. My name is Justin Evans, and we wish peace, love, and blessings on you all. We will see you guys next time.